Price caps on energy are gaining favor as a way to lessen the impact on European households and punish Russia for invading Ukraine. The EU is still struggling with the result of its dependence on Russian gas. Over the past decade, the EU is the only major region of the world to reduce its production of gas. This led it to be the region importing the most because they focused on supply and hoped demand would fall by itself. Now, with high energy prices, the EU is planning to impose a windfall profits tax. You'd think this would fall on the companies that profited from selling gas at high prices to eager European buyers, but none of them are in Europe. So instead it'll be heaviest on renewables, because their profit margins have risen the most, and they're in Europe, so easily reached by the taxman. The money will be used to pay for the subsidies of European energy bills, which will easily run into the hundreds of billions of euros. I can see the logic of it, but it is ironic that the sector of Europe's energy business that's currently doing the best will be penalized. The sanctions on Russia may yet do great economic damage, but on oil and gas, all they've done is make the Kremlin richer. The G7 plans to impose a price cap on what Russia can sell its oil for, enforced by denying insurance coverage, since Western countries pretty much own that market. I don't really see how this will succeed. If India wants to buy oil from Russia, they will. They can self-insure. And Russia may just decide to sell a little less, which will push the price up. I can sympathize with trying to cut Russia's revenues from high prices, but if you can't enforce it, then it's not worth trying because it highlights weakness. Europe isn't the only place demonstrating what happens when too many liberal energy fascists impose idealistic policies on the rest of us. California is once again close to cutting off power to customers because of a heat wave. For years, they've reduced their reliable energy, like natural gas, in favor of renewables, which are once again unable to meet the needs of Californians. Many of them blame climate change for the weather. They're trying very hard to reduce their emissions, although CO2 levels on the planet we all inhabit are going up anyway because of China. So California, like the EU, is making great sacrifices, but is living with rising emissions anyway. They'll be rising at least until 2030 because China says they will. We don't need any more political leaders naively agreeing to impose less reliable energy on citizens here, while other countries are pressing on with more coal-burning power plants. As more Americans realize China and other developing countries are getting a free ride, they'll feel like me and say, we've had enough. If you're interested in learning more about the energy sector and interest rates, then don't forget to subscribe and follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter. Our handles are in the description box below. We manage investment products to profit from the outcomes I've discussed. To find out more about what we're thinking, sign up for our twice-weekly blog at sl-advisors.com. We always love to hear from you, so if you have any comments or blog ideas, please leave them down below. I'm Simon Lack. Thank you for watching this video.